Good afternoon. Welcome to Big Gunner Talks. It's a special edition show today. Actually, don't usually stream on a Sunday, but obviously Lambs is busy. She's everywhere, so this was a perfect time for us to do it. So how you doing today?
Man, I'm good. I'm all right. Thank you so much for having me on, inviting me on. It's a pleasure to be here. It is a pleasure to be here. But yeah, no, you're right. I am like here, there, everywhere, and because of that, I'm just like so tired. So Sundays are kind of like my day to just kind of like
Yeah,
breathe,
just
reset,
breathe. But
recharge, and go
we're
again.
not letting you breathe today because we've got stuff to talk about.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Bob's is in Bob's is in the building. I don't know if Prime is still here, but Bob's is here. Um, so
Lovely.
to be fair, obviously, what the show essentially is about is I look for people that I feel are role models, and then I invite them on, and then we speak about life and why I believe they're role models. Because at the moment, we're just doing women, so I feel like although there are loads of female role models, they tend to be in sport and stuff like that. That's what people are achieving to things that are not realistic for everyone. So it's about bringing on role models that are realistic and things that they do are achievable. So what we're going to talk about first is what you do. Like you have a degree. Tell us what you have a degree in because
Mm.
not everybody's going to know.
So,
Obviously, I know. Go on.
so yeah, it's mainly science related. So I've got a degree in biomedical sciences and a master's in pharmacology, and yeah, and I'm still kind of studying as well. So I'm doing like another one related to similar things. So it's like more of an extension of pharmacology, drug discovery, and
Yeah.
technology. So yeah, I'm kind of trying to make, because I've always wanted to be involved in, actually, no, originally I wanted to be a doctor, but I was too dumb for that. So I went I decided to go the other route. So I wanted to be involved in like science, research science, stuff like that. So to kind of like make a difference, be involved in like breakthrough research and stuff
Yeah.
that can be used to develop certain therapies and cures. So yeah, so at
That
least
to me, that just sounds hard.
hmm?
So
Oh no,
that just sounds hard.
hard. It's not as hard as like, training to be like a doctor, surgeon,
Yeah,
an actual medic, but because that's quite intense and you have
yeah,
to do so much in such a small amount of time. Whereas because of kind of like spread things over in like a degree,
hmm,
um, and then even taking like breaks in between, like having a year out where I had to like work and stuff, and like even doing like reading and stuff beforehand, so I kind of know what the
hmm,
course will be about. But yeah, no, it's not been easy. And when I tell you, like even during my undergraduate degrees, like throughout all of them, really, like it's hard. And the current
yeah,
one I'm doing, it's hard. Like it's no walk in the park, and especially when you have other things to do alongside and circumstances difficult, it does
hmm,
make that even tougher. But man, after everything that I've been through, I did not come all of this way to give up. So as hard as it is, and
yeah,
sometimes as overwhelming as it gets, and I feel like, oh my God, I've got so much catching up to
hmm,
do. Yeah, I do. I've always had like high hopes, big ambitions and dreams.
yeah,
Like I've always wanted to like make a difference. Like my biggest fear, like I'm not afraid of like people or death or anything like that. My biggest fear is just basically like living my life, just being another statistic and dying and knowing that I didn't do anything. Like I didn't leave the world in a better state than how I
yeah,
found it, and that's always something I've wanted to do. So I think by the time I'm ready to kind of like depart, I want to kind of feel like, hey, you've done this, you managed to achieve this, you tried to change this,
hmm,
you start thinking about this, you successfully ran this campaign and whatnot. So and most importantly, you made a difference and you helped, because that's basically all I've wanted to do. I've just wanted to kind of like help people. Quite kind in that sense. Yeah,
yeah.
maybe too kind.
Like you can never be too kind. I mean, people say it all the time, like, "Oh, you're too kind," but I don't feel like you can be too kind. You're just being yourself, aren't you? So
But oftentimes, if you don't know like the right people, and it's hard to kind of want to know the right people because everyone often wants to see the best in everyone. Why shouldn't you? Because we're human beings, you should
yeah,
strive to see the best in people. But more often than not, people do take advantage, so you have to be careful.
yeah, I get that. I also feel like being
I got distracted
devil's
because
advocate. Yeah, like it's just one of those things. Like you need sort of bad in the world to be good. Does that make sense? Like if everything was good and everything was the same, loads of people would be out of jobs. But at the same time, yeah, you would just hope that, you know what? I think the only thing that we want is equality. Like if everybody is on the same footing, everyone's got the same chances and opportunities. I think that's all we want. But is it ever going to happen? No. But can we keep trying to make it happen? Of course we can. Just to get onto a bit about obviously your studying and stuff like that. Why do people think we don't study? Like
what?
why? Just like why do people think black people don't study? Like it's like it comes as a shock when you tell somebody that you have a degree.
Yeah, like, oh my God, to uni. Like they're expecting you to just say, oh no, I dropped out of school at 16. I've just had like one dead end job after the other. I'm just trying to make it, just come out of prison, trying to pull with my criminal record. And it's just like, wow. And again, it comes down to just your typical stereotypes, bias, really and truly. And all of that kind of comes from the media, because I'm not even really too sure if you kind of remember, like back in the day for me, when I was a child, when I was growing up, what you kind of had on TV was like 5 channels, right? BBC One, ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, whatever, right? And that's about it. So whatever news information you'd get from those, like ITV News, BBC News, Channel 4 News, etc., Channel 5 News, whatever. So whatever they wanted you to know, whatever these media outlets wanted you to know, whatever information they needed you to know, that's what you would see. And they would project it in a way that would make you interpret it in a kind of way to make you then assume, oh, okay, like Muslims are terrorists, black people are criminals and crackheads, and deadbeats and uneducated and violent and etc., etc. Because this is the way that the media have projected the information. This is what they want you to think. They want you to fear these people because they painted them out to say, oh, they're different, so hate them, push them down, basically. Don't ever let them think that they're better than you, because they're not, and constantly keep reminding them of that. But nowadays, especially with the rise of technology, the advancement and evolution of technology, Wi-Fi and stuff like that, we're now living in a world where loads of people, you can pick and choose what information you're looking for. Do you know what I mean? You can, Leicester scored again. They're just on a damn roll.
Just like
ridiculous. So there's so many different YouTube channels out there. Like, as we well know, there's covered all sorts of content. If you want to know about football, if you want to know about sport, if you want to know about politics, if you want to be tutored, if you want to brush up on something, there's like tutoring channels as well. There's fashion, there's makeup, there's creative, there's graphics, there's like property development. There's literally like anything you want. There's a channel for you, and you can search it. As well as your typical news outlets, etc. There's so many more now. There's so many more independent ones as well. So not just showcasing information, not just being biased, because a lot of people are waking up and smelling the coffee. They're kind of seeing, okay, here's an article talking about footballer, and this is the headline. Here's an article talking about another footballer who did the exact same thing as this footballer, but this one's white and this one's black. And you're kind of noticing, these headlines are a bit shady. Like, this one paints this person in a good light. This one kind of makes it seem like, oh, they shouldn't be doing that, or they have no right to. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the issue that I have. And that's the issue that a lot of people are starting to figure out more and more. Like, but don't get me wrong, this was always there. This was always
Yeah,
there. It's coming to
110%.
light because, like you said, there's technology, there's cameras, recordings, screenshots, there's evidence everywhere. So it's much more harder for people to get away with ignorance, with racism, bigotry, etc. Because more than likely, okay, it could get passed it could get passed along. Maybe 10 people will look over it because they have the same mentality as you, but the 11th person will most likely not be a racist and think this is actually kind of fucked up and I'm going to call you out,
Yeah.
and hence they will expose them, and that's how eventually, they get exposed and for the frauds that they are. But it it's there's too many of them. And I don't think these social media platforms like Twitter, like Instagram, or like Facebook, these other corporations, they're not doing enough to crack down on this when people are reporting people's profiles and accounts, sending them evidence, and they're not doing anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, recently they have been,
Problem.
but again, we saw one with where Eddie Nketiah was racially abused, and they obviously suspended the account, but then he made a new one straight away, and then he was pretty much bigging up how he just made a new account because the last one was locked off, and he was showing everybody that his last one was locked off. So, like you're saying, they've tried to do something, but I don't know if they can actually do any more, because then you start getting into that whole freedom of speech thing where if you're going to start blocking people from saying what they want to say, um, you're taking away their freedom of speech. Obviously, we know it's wrong. They know it's wrong. But do they care enough? Because it's not affecting them. Like we've seen it with, when Wiley said what he said about Jewish people, how quick they were to lock him off. Like he was gone. He was missing within a day or two. He was missing.
But Katie
That's
Hopkins and Donald Trump have
yeah,
been spreading hate for years.
for years, for
Years.
years.
And it took how many years, like how many hateful tweet after hateful tweet after hateful tweet for them to finally get kicked off Twitter. Like what? It should have been
But it's
done
like
after the first one. That's and this is why I have an issue. This is why it's like we're sitting here smiling, but it's not funny. It's
it's
just
not funny.
it's
But
unbelievable.
then
That's why. That's literally why, because we can't believe it's happening, yet it's happening. And
for me, it literally goes past, or it goes past from being unbelievable to actually funny, because it's like you're saying, it's so crazy, so out there that you sort of have to laugh. Like, we've both seen videos of people that we know, like that were racially abused on a stream, and like you watch it and then you just think, when did you ever get so brave? Because realistically, if you saw the guy that you said it to on the street, you would not have been brave enough to say what you said to the guy's face. You just wouldn't have done it. So again, people
100%.
hiding behind screens and stuff like that. It's just all it's just the way it's gone now, and I don't feel there's much we can actually do. We can keep fighting. Obviously, we're not gonna stop fighting. We're not gonna keep bringing it up. Like we're not gonna stop talking about it. That's all we can do. But I just even ooh, yeah, she's gone. She will be back. She will be back. Yeah, I agree. He crossed the wrong set of people, and they came for him, and she's back. Um, yeah, I stopped talking anyway, so you didn't miss much. Um, but what are some of the things that you're doing to fight racism? Because I've seen that you started. Obviously, I've seen you going to marches and stuff like that. But what else have you been doing? Can you hear me?
Hey,
Oh, there you are. Oh yeah. So you're just talking about what you've been doing to sort of fight racism. Can you let us know?
sorry. It cut off. What
Oh,
is the
can you hear me now?
thing you said? Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we just talked. We just started. I just asked you what you've been doing to sort of fight racism.
Okay,
So yeah,
so
let us know because
I shortly kind of came up with I mean, I've always kind of wanted to do this. So this has eventually kind of been like the end game. So I thought, okay, after I finish uni, like my undergrad degree, or like work for a year or something, then I'll go and do like a master's and like,
hmm
get like experience and like a placement and stuff. And then once I'm done, I'll get a job and everything could be great. And I'll do that for like a few years and start saving, thinking about, putting down some roots, and then thinking about kind of like starting and putting together this like foundation organization, which I've always kind of wanted to do. But I've always kind of kept on putting it off because I'm just thinking circumstances aren't right. You're working, you're studying, you've got this going on in your personal life. So there's always kind of like something that was just like always blocking me from doing it. Like, oh, it's not the right time. Timing's terrible. You've got this going on. Finish this first, this, down the other, right? And there's always something, right? And eventually, as I'm kind of going through life, I'm realizing there's always going to be something. So if you kind of want to just do something, then just do it, especially if it's something that means a lot to you, you're passionate about it, like I am as well. And I've
yeah,
always wanted to make a difference. And what annoys me the most, what frustrates me the most, what makes me really angry and upset is when I see injustice occurring and nothing's being done about it. And it makes me think, wow, like we have a huge fight. There is a lot to do. And a lot of people, they can like, it's very easy for people to kind of just close their eyes and act blind and pretend that they don't see anything. But if you can do that, right, then you can be that's you basically being complicit in silence. And I could personally never do that because what if the roles were reversed and that was me? And I needed this person to help, and they turned their back on me or pretended that they didn't care about them. And this is what everybody needs to know. Despite your wealth, your class, your status, your circumstances, all of that can change in an instant, and it happens to everybody.
easy. Yeah, easy.
So always remember to like love people. If you see something wrong, if you see something that's clearly an injustice, say something, do something, speak up and stand up for that person, especially if you know it's wrong, because that can easily be you. Very, very easily be you. So I think it sort of kind of came after the whole George Floyd incident where obviously, police just out here killing black people again.
Yeah.
But it was worse this time because people obviously saw all that whole disturbing clip. So it was just insane when you're actually watching somebody die in front of
hmm
you, camera, and the heartlessness that went into it as well, just really opened people's eyes, just be like, wow, they really be doing that. And it's just like, we know they be doing that. Rodney King, like, come on.
Yeah.
Riots, like so, like there's so many cases. We know they be doing this. Just
hmm
camera phones, like we said, camera phones are present in the streets now, whereas they weren't before. But this has been happening. This has always been there. So after that, seeing everybody get out there, like protest, especially during a pandemic as well. But during the pandemic, nobody even really cared about infection rates. It was about standing up for something that they knew was
hmm
and needed to be changed. So after that, that's kind of when I started like pulling together some ideas, thinking about, okay, I want to create this foundation, this organization. This is what it's going to be about. This is what we're going to try and do. Okay, how am I going to fit this? I need a kind of business model. I need a presentation. I need a website. I need to start planning, talking to people, emailing potential sponsors, get like trusts, grants, see if there's people, companies, organizations that do give like startup trusts and grants and stuff. So
hmm
organizations like mine, which they do as well. So it's about networking with the right people, um, you know, thinking about how I'm going to incorporate all of this and just start putting that all together. And especially that was kind of going on at a real difficult period of my life, like personally as well, like coming off the back of finishing off my previous degree as well, like the whole pandemic, kind of not
Yeah.
really any far with like my job hunt as well, especially during this pandemic, and just kind of my next steps being a bit all up in the air kind of, and just not really knowing where to go. So that's kind of why I just thought, you know what, fuck it, stop putting it off. The timing is never going to be a right time. Just
That's
start
the thing.
and take your time with it, basically. If just take your time with it, make sure you get everything that you need done so you can, launch the website. I've got an Instagram page for it. I was thinking about making a Twitter page or some other kind of social media page for it, but that will come as like my vision for this organization grows. So obviously right now I've got my Instagram page. I've been raising a bit of money as well. I've been working with web designer on the website, which is almost ready, and hopefully should be launched soon. But because I wanna make sure it's done properly. Do you know what I mean? I don't just want to rush something and do a half-assed job. If I'm going to do something, I might as well do it properly, or not at all.
What's the name? Yeah.
The Progressions Project. So obviously the idea of the Progressions Project is basically helping. I think I wrote like a short little bio about it as well. So because people always ask
you wrote
me,
one. You
I
think you wrote
did.
one.
People are always asking me like what it's about and stuff, and I'm thinking like I don't want to sit here and chew people's ear off because I could speak all day about what it covers, but just to cut like a quick sum. So a social enterprise, a community interest company creating social community active events, promotions to fund projects to help the systematically oppressed move forward. So systematically oppressed groups and individuals, meaning like Black people, Black women, ethnic minorities, and stuff like that. Basically, people that the government hates, basically.
Yeah. So that's it. You've got one sentence, and that's what I feel like you need to be able to say. If someone asks you, you need to be able to say what it is in one sentence, and you just did it there. Another topic, like it was still on the racism thing, but to do with education, do you think we should even be using that as I don't know, like I feel like that's letting them off lightly, because I feel like people that are racist say, I need to be educated, or I'm not aware. But you're seeing everything that's going on in the world. You've seen the George Floyd thing. You've seen the marches and stuff. Is the education thing, like, are they allowed to say that anymore? And should we be saying they need to be educated? Because I don't think
they do need to be educated, but it's not up to us to educate them.
But don't you think like they know though? Because it's like it's one of those things where you go into a shop and you pick up a packet of crisps and you put it in your pocket and walk out. You know that's wrong.
Right.
So you've got two choices. Do you do it or don't you do it? You know what's right and you know what's wrong. Calling me a monkey or calling whoever a monkey, you know it's wrong. So for me, it's not education. It's just about you. Yeah, but the reason you've got the privilege.
The reason why they do it, like you said, it comes from privilege. It comes from entitlement. But also, people like me and you probably wouldn't do this because we know that we would face harsher consequences than say that person did exactly that. And I think it comes down to that. When people know that there's no consequences to their actions, then it is what it is, really.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I had Sam on the last show, and I said to her that basically you women have it the hardest. Obviously, you have Black people, but then to be a Black woman, that's the hardest thing to be in the world right now, is a Black woman. Do you feel like you faced much racism, like doing the things that you do? Are you back now? Can you hear me? Oh, there you are. You back?
Am I back?
Yeah, we can see you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, don't worry about it. So yeah, how much racism have you faced, like in university and in the work life and stuff like that? Do you feel like it happens to you all the time? Has it been a lot? Not that much? Has it been blatant? Has it actually been blatant?
In some cases, yes, it's been blatant. In other cases, not so much. It's been subtle. In university, because I don't know, it's weird because I went to University of Essex before I transferred during my second year. But whilst I was there, like if anybody knows University of Essex in Colchester,
Colchester, yeah,
hella racist. Okay.
Hmm.
Like you will literally like walk from your house to campus and you walk past neighbors with Confederate flags like in their
Yeah.
stuff. Like it's actually so mad. It didn't happen to me personally, but obviously I've heard instances of like some of my other black friends on campus where they've just been like walking, I think maybe to Tesco's or like between campus. And people have like thrown banana peels at them through passing,
Wow.
yeah, and yelled out profanity and stuff like that. So it happens. I've seen it happen. Um, but thankfully, I was lucky to kind of have the group of people that I did. So
Hmm.
because we were so different and so diverse, it was really quite difficult for people to kind of like say something because we were white, black, mixed, Asian.
Hmm.
And stuff like that. So male and female. So we had like a nice little balance as well. And I think it sent the message that we don't judge people based on their ethnicity. Like we're not gonna just stick to all these like typical little cliques. Do you know what I mean? Where everybody kind of just sticks with the race that they
Yeah.
belong to because that's what they feel comfortable in. That wasn't us. So
Yeah. No, I mean, Essex was one of the universities because I only went to university 6 or 7 years ago. Uh, so I started university when I was 28. Um, and Essex was one of the universities I was looking at, but in the end, I chose Middlesex. And yeah, everyone there was like, it was so black there. So there was like, I was never going to experience that at Middlesex. But yeah, I've heard some horror stories of people going to university and suffering from racism. So it is very, very deep, man. Big up Hassan in the building. Deep uni gig is tough. Yeah, uni's mad. Bob's, yeah, Bob's. I respect that, man. Like as I said, I only went to university when I was 28, and for me, it probably made it a bit easier. Like going to uni younger, I think is probably a bit harder, but obviously I'd lived life, so going to university at 28 was probably a bit easier for me, and no one couldn't really tell me nothing. So yeah, I enjoyed it. But I'm glad you're there now, Bobs. Just make
mhm.
sure you smash it, man. Make sure you smash it.
Keep going, like trust me, the older you are, I think it's probably better because it's just kind of like, listen, I'm not one of those like freshers and stuff, so you're kind of like over that. You've got all the partying and the out of the system, like, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
what do we now, we're getting pissed. You're just like, ugh, the thought of alcohol like making you sick. You're like, yeah, well, you're gonna have a 2 hour hangover, I'm gonna have a 48 hour hangover, so no thank you.
Yeah, 110%. Big up Jeremiah in the building, man. Love always. Um, what else was I gonna ask you? We're gonna do a quick segue, as Bobs would say.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
so
talk about
me and Bob's like we've spoken about this guy because obviously like our show that we do what now
yeah,
where we talk about football obviously, but we integrate
yeah.
like politics and the racism issues that go on in the world of football, and apparently it's quite a weekly thing. So that's why we always have stuff to talk about because it just never stops. Unfortunately,
Listen, it's mad. Like we
that we're
talk
sitting.
about it on wrap up all the time. It's just mad. It's just mad. It's depressing. Like we don't mind talking about it, but sometimes it is depressing. Is that why you're drinking coffee now? Like,
It's
probably
tea,
because
close enough.
yeah, if she's like you, Prime, like she probably was up till 3 o'clock.
Later.
See, there we go. Yeah, so let's talk about this guy. Do you think he got away lightly?
He got lightly,
Yeah,
lightly, mate. He's standing next to what's his face, Dean Smith.
yeah.
He's the second in command. What the fuck? He got away scot free. Like, man got a promotion. Like, how many people, how many ex footballers do you know can land a decent enough position like that? Let alone somebody who we blatant like it's been caught on camera. There is evidence, yeah, of him being a racist, of him using racist language.
it's what's funny for me is that it shows how much they actually don't care, because obviously we
Yeah.
had John Terry, we had Luis Suarez, and then the whole of the Liverpool squad felt the need to wear a t-shirt. Guy Neville's recently came out and said he wished he'd listened to Sterling more. So like all these things, just for me in my head, it's just was like, I don't know, man. It's just, you just don't know how to feel. Like how do you feel? Because one, it shows that they don't really care, and then for two, they go from not caring to making it about them. Like you're taking our pain and making it about how you feel bad, so you're now turning it onto yourself to make, I don't know, like what are you trying to achieve by saying that you need education? It's like, I don't know. It's just depressing, and just to see John Terry now, like you said, and standing next to Dean Smith. For me, I don't know how anyone could play under him. Like I don't know how Chelsea players played alongside. Obviously, they knew he was a winner and he was their captain, so they kind of had to just um, bite their tongue. See, Prime went to sleep at 5. But I don't know, man. Every time I think about the John Terry situation, and even Jose Mourinho situation with Eva being a woman, like I feel like everyone just forgot that he did that, and
Yeah, to our
everyone
physio.
forgot that
I
she was a
haven't.
doctor and she lost her, like, the best job that she ever could have had, probably.
Our team, yeah, has never been the same since she's left. I swear, like
It's just
everybody was in great fitness, top-notch fitness, yeah. And as soon as she left, capitulation, capitulation.
like, yeah, I just don't let these things slide. And people keep saying it's got nothing to do with football, so we should only talk about the football. But no, you don't. You talk about the person as a whole, like everything that they are. And for me, I could just never forgive John Terry, can never forgive Jose
Yeah.
Mourinho, and even the Aguero thing this season when he touched the ref. Sorry, the lineswoman.
Sean
Trying,
Master,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was that was
and it
mad.
was just like, again, it was it was just brushed under the carpet. We had the ref shouting at a player the other day, and that came off worse than a player feeling the need to touch a lineswoman for what reason, and to not even get in trouble for doing it.
Decision went
It was
against
mad. It was so mad. And yeah, you just for in life, you just have to pray sometimes, and these are the situations that you have to pray for, because you just don't know where the world is going, man, if they think that these things are all right. um Talk a bit about football. We can't see your flag anymore because you've had to change positions, but how long have you how
for the
long have
white.
you supported how long have you supported Chelsea? And that, you don't need to give me that answer you gave me already. You could give me a short answer. It's up to you. Go take it as deep as you want.
Well, literally, like ever since I've kind of like known about football, I've literally like supported Chelsea. Well, I've chosen to support. I mean, I've always like been a football fan. Like I
Yeah.
used to like with my dad when I was like a toddler and a child. You know what I mean? I was always interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't give a crap at all. Like football, and I loved it. Like I would always want to play as well, and it was hard because like none of the other girls were interested in football, so if I had to
Yeah.
play, if I wanted to play, I had to play with the boys, and they were so mean to me, like all the time. Like they would literally always try and give me a hard time, so I
Yeah.
just like give up and just like fuck it, I quit. But I never did. I never did. I'm so stubborn. I just like push through just to prove a point. But no, because I liked it as well. And obviously, as I was getting like a little bit older, going through primary school, there was,
Mm-hmm.
some girls, and secondary school, there was some girls who showed interest in football as well. So, obviously, that's when I started like playing football as well, safely, away from the. So yeah, that was good. But I grew up in Highbury, so
Mm-hmm.
as you can imagine, I was surrounded by Arsenal fans, and I'm that kind of person where, like, I don't know, if everybody wants to go for like the sweetest thing, I'll just deliberately go for the opposite of that, just
Yeah.
just to create some controversy, just to create some tension. So yeah, everyone's like, oh, Arsenal, Arsenal, especially because they were literally like at the top of their game around that time as well. But I just thought, okay, when I was like 6 or 7, something like that, I was just like, do you know what? My uncle supports Chelsea. I'm going to support Chelsea.
Yeah.
So fuck it. I've never looked back since. And literally, like a year after that, Abramovich came and bought the club.
Wow, that was good
I didn't know
timing,
that was
man.
going to happen. I didn't know that was going to happen. Everyone was like trying to call me a glory hunter. And I was like, listen, you're just bitter because you didn't buy your club. Okay.
I think everybody, I think the whole of the Premiership was bitter when Abramovich came, and I think they're still bitter now. And the same, they're bitter with Man City.
Spurs fan was about to buy them.
Yeah, it's just jealousy, isn't it? It's just you just got to carry on and find a way of beating the teams with the money. That's all you can do, to be fair.
Or sell up to somebody.
Yeah, sell up. What was your first memory of Chelsea? Like, what's the first match you remember?
The first match I remember. Oh my god! Wow, you're taking me back. I honestly cannot quite put my because I was really, really, really young, but I just remember just seeing like Damien Duff, Eddie Johnson, Joe Cole, Lampard, and I was just like, oh wow, wow, like this is amazing. And then what's my first? When you say memory, like, is it something that like really stands out, or just like what?
Yeah, it's just like, what do you just remember?
What
Like
do I?
the first goal that you remember seeing from Chelsea, or let's just say, all right, let's go for the first.
My favorite memories, one of my favorite memories, was the season that we won the Premier League title with something like 95 points. I thought we were. I thought that was because I think that was the season where I think we won it previously as well. The previous year. But Drogba wasn't so great. He was still trying to find his feet, wasn't really like scoring and stuff. And then that next season, he just turned into a beast, like a completely different person. Just loves scoring goals against big teams, especially Arsenal. And his goal scoring contributions, I think, it just lifted us from like that one level last year to a newer, better level. And that's when I think people started taking us seriously. Do you know what I mean? They were like, oh, okay, because they thought, okay, maybe it was just going to be like a one-off like Blackburn, and they'd never like freaking see us again. And like we've persisted and we've managed. We've only gone from strength to strength till then as well. And I think that was the first good memory that I had. But you know what? Nobody's going to be laughing at me anymore when I'm out here like defending Chelsea ground, because I think people are starting to realize that they need to take us seriously. Like this isn't like some temporary bit of form, and then we're going to go back to being crap, and United and Arsenal are going to take back over again. Not like we came and we're here to stay, and rightly so. I thought that was a terrific season, and I think that was when I fell in love with Didier Drogba. Well, because I was just like, Sky.
So before, because I wouldn't say a surprise, it's not really a surprise, but before I'm going to ask you to do something, where do you see yourself finishing the season?
Oh, second or third place. Before this weekend, it was second, and then we drew, and West Ham won. So back in Europa League spaces. But Liverpool lost, which is good, because obviously we were worried that us dropping points means that Liverpool and West Ham can capitalize. Now it's just West Ham, and they are already 2 points ahead of us as well, which is okay. A bit concerning because I think they do still have a game in hand as well. But it's really close. Like 1-2 games can change everything. I mean, like you guys United fans about winning the league like a couple of weeks ago, and now we know for sure that it's going to be Manchester City. Clear. I mean, do you know what I mean? And literally they were 10 points ahead of us, and now something like 5 points now?
It's just so crazy, like
mad.
couple of weeks ago, everyone, we're not going to beat City today. I can't see us beating City today. But
You're
if we
not.
were to beat City
I
today,
hope you do. I really hope that you do.
we
Because
would
that
go
would
above Spurs. Would be above Spurs, who are about to win the league in November, and we would be 3 points off Liverpool, who were touted as the best team ever in Premiership history at the start of the season. So it just shows how crazy this season has
they
been.
held 7, and all of their defenders were there. Everyone was fit. Everybody was fit, but they held 7. The thing about Liverpool is they rely so much on their fans. Like their fans be like their 12th man. Like without their fans, that comeback against Barcelona would never have happened. Their fans are literally everything. Without their fans, they are nothing. They are nothing. The mentality is not there. They just cry.
And this is the crazy thing, because I saw someone, obviously you're saying you're not on Twitter, and I would advise you not to come on Twitter.
Like, keeps me informed anyway, and everybody.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like someone was actually saying that it's because of the fans, and I was just like, so you're just discounting that 19 other teams don't have fans in their stadium. Why is it only your fans make a difference? I don't know. And they're just, as you say, they got spanked with their full team, so it's bigger than them not just having those players for me, and they just need to just shut up and just take the L for the season and come back next season. To be honest,
they need to spend money. Like you can't compete. You can't hope to try and compete on the level that City on right now. They've won every single game this 2021. That's mad. That's actually like they are on the verge of becoming immortal. And if they get Messi and Neymar, just forget about it. Just forget about it. Just cancel the league. Forget about it.
I don't think financial fair play would allow them.
This Liverpool team, they can't. Well, listen, they're probably going to get Messi at least because we know he wants to go. That's for sure. They might even fuck around and end up getting Haaland, and us Chelsea fans just be sitting there like, okay. But either way, like Liverpool, they have to spend money. Like you can't go out and buy like one Thiago, I think one centre back, and only because they were forced to do so. You can't continue.
And they bought Jota, but Jota was only ever going to be a sub, but he started off the season really good as well.
Salah and Mane.
So yeah, I just don't have any sympathy for them, to be honest. So yeah, as I said, it's not really a surprise, but I didn't want to ask you before because I think it gives people, they get too technical when you ask them before to pick their greatest ever 11 for their team. When you just do it off the bat, I think it gives more honest answers. I don't think we need to even discuss who your goalkeeper is. So I've already put it in there because I don't think there's been another goalkeeper, to be fair. I mean, Courtois was there for a while, but he was nothing Connor, Peter Cech. So what formation do you want to go?
I don't know. I suppose let's go 4-3-2-1.
Wow, that's technical.
Yeah. Or a 4-3-3, and we can say like the striker playing through the middle will be like a lone striker, because I know exactly who I want to go in that position for sure. Actually, one player.
All right, let's start with your right back then. Who's your right back?
That's a difficult one.
Is it?
Actually, no. Maybe Ashley Cole.
You're gonna play him at right back?
He was very good for us.
Yeah, but he was left back though.
He was versatile. He could play as right back.
He could. And who would you be playing at left back?
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, we'll put Ashley Cole left back. We'll put. I'll put Ivanovic at right back.
Yeah, I'd started writing that already.
Yeah. Okay. You just knew.
I was like, I don't think you can put anyone.
Mystic Gunner, everyone. Mystic Gunner. Read my mind. Yeah.
All right.
I kind of didn't really want to put Ashley Cole in there because, you know, he's a bit of a snake for you guys. But
No, I mean, I hope he's in everybody's team because he's like the best
that's
left back
literally
to ever
why.
play in the
That's
Premiership.
literally why we bought him. Like, I think
Yeah,
coming off of that Invincible season, we were like, thank you very much.
yeah. Like, so we've got Peter Cech in goal, Ivanovic right back, Cole left back. Who is your two centre backs? All right. I've got. Should we do it morally or should we just stick to football?
You can tell that's the dilemma I'm having right now because
That's the dilemma every single person has.
in there. Okay, if it's about the football, then yeah, it's John Terry. If it's about
Yeah.
moral, then it's not. I would still put in Thiago Silva because by far,
Yeah.
like even in the last 5 years, he's one of our best centre backs. So
Yeah.
and he's proven that over his career as well, and he
Yeah.
plays for us. So I'm gonna put.
Yeah.
Fine, we'll put John Terry and Thiago Silva in.
Crazy. All right, so we've got
Act like-
Silva. So who we going in midfield now?
Makalele.
Yeah, I think he invented the role, so we have to put him in there.
Come on. You see how Partey is trying to play for you guys right now? Makalele.
Yeah.
He's trying to be your Makalele.
I think Makelele was smoother. To be fair, I think.
Oh yeah.
Makelele, yeah, I think he started that whole role, and don't think anyone's ever gonna be able to do the Makelele role like Makelele, obviously.
No way. And we shall never see his like again.
Nope. So you've got Makelele.
If you watched Game of Thrones, you would have got that reference. You don't.
I didn't hear it. You cut out.
Oh, do you watch Game of Thrones?
No, I watched like the last one. My partner, she watches it, but
Oh, okay.
it's
'Cause I
just
was
too
like,
weird for me, man.
What? She's got
Yeah.
great taste. Great
It's
taste.
too weird.
Because I said, we shall never see his like again. So that's a reference from Game of Thrones. So
Oh yeah, that
afterwards, and she'll tell
yeah, I
you.
will. That went way over my head, way over my head.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. So wait, we're
Skimmed
still
off
on
my
our
forehead.
midfield, right?
Say that again.
We're still on our midfield, right?
Yeah, so you've got Makelele so far.
Okay, so yeah, obviously, just he like, oh god, the guy was so good. He could just play as like a lone DM. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I would go 4-4-1, 2, 1, 3.
huh?
No, that's too many players. 4-1-2-1-2. That's crazy.
Well,
In
yeah.
my head, for who the players I would put in there. So who are you going to put in there with him?
4-2-1. You mean?
Yeah, 2-1. Yeah, so 2-1. Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, wait, 1-2? What? Interesting. Okay, yeah. So we could have him as a lone DM, and then we're getting into our attacking midfielders, right?
Yep.
We'll have Frank Lampard in there.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go in there. Do you know what's so crazy? Like when I think about how many players have come through our squad in the past, like, oh wow, in the past like 15 years or so, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Mo Salah used to play for us, Kevin De Bruyne used to play for us.
Mad. Yeah. Imagine if you kept him.
Fernando Torres used to play for us. Mad how many players we've had. It's crazy. So this is why this is actually quite hard. But
Yes, it is hard.
Rates and stuff. You probably have to go for those players who are in the title winning seasons.
Yeah.
So Frank Lampard. I really liked what's his face, Joe Cole. I like Joe Cole.
I can't disagree with Joe Cole, to be fair.
Yeah. Like, it was really, really consistently solid for us. And he used to score some great goals as well. Literally, just always had a shot on him as well, just like Frank. Loved it.
Original J. Cole.
Oh, yeah.
So we've
And
got
now,
Makelele, Lampard, and Joe Cole.
okay, so who have we got? So we've got Czech, Ivanovic, Ashley Cole, Silva, Terry, Makaleli, Lampard, Joe Cole. So we're going from midfield 4, right? And then 2, and then
So
one striker, right?
1, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other 2, I would go for Eddie Johnson and Eden Hazard.
Wow. Hazard. So that is looking very mad. So Piszczek in goal, Ivanovic right back, Silva and Terry in the middle, Ashley Cole left back, Makelele, Lampard, Joe Cole, Hazard and Good Johnson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Actually,
8,
let's also
9,
go
10.
for. Do you know? I'm gonna go for the 1 and then 2 strikers up front. Actually, so like someone in like a number 10 role, basically. Yeah, and then for the 2 strikers, I know which I definitely want these 2 strikers. Like fucking.
You got to take one out if you're putting 2 strikers in.
Huh?
You got to take one out if you're putting 2 strikers in.
Hold on, read it back to me. Who have we got?
So you got Czech in goal, Ivanovic right back, Silva centre back, Terry centre back, Cole left back, then Makelele holding, Lampard, Joe Cole, and Hazard. That's 3, so that's your 4 in midfield.
Yeah.
Then you've put Good Johnson, so you've only got 1 space left.
All right. Okay. No, I'm not going to take any of them out.
This is hard because I think Drogba started.
That's what I'm saying. I want to go for Drogba. I also want to put
playing 1 up front, but then Diego Costa.
But exactly, you can see what dilemma I'm battling with.
I think he was a better.
I want them both in the team.
I wouldn't say he's a better footballer, but obviously, I think he got more goals than Drogba. But Drogba was just a straight bully, and then if you're a bit older, you'd put Zola in there.
The final, I can't forget that, man. We owe him so much. Like I cried that day. Couldn't believe it. So
I don't know who you're gonna go with.
I'll. Do you know what? I'll sacrifice Diego Costa for Didier Drogba because Costa's rude anyway.
So Costa was a bit suspect as well, man. To be fair,
very.
A couple of his
that's a pretty good team, actually. Like thinking about it, that's a good team. Like obviously, if they were all in their prime.
I need to get Charlotte's team up, and then I'll message you the team.
I feel like I have a feeling I know what Charlotte would have gone for.
And all I know is that she had Dennis Wise on her team.
I knew you were gonna say Dennis Wise. Dennis Wise is in there.
That's all I remember from her team is just Dennis Wise.
I was just like, I know Charlotte's gonna have like a couple old times. I knew it. It's like Charlotte. She loves her classic. She loves her classic.
She loves Dennis Wise, man. Every show that she's been on mine, she spoke about Dennis Wise. So we've got Czech, Ivanovic, Terry, Silva, Cole, Makelele, Lampard, Joe Cole, Eden Hazard, Good Johnson, and Drogba. That is a good team. That's a very good team.
What league position do you think this team finishes in?
Oh no, they win the league. Only person I probably would have changed. I probably would have gone for Carvalho over Silva. Good Johnson was actually my favourite player outside the Premiership.
Thank you for sorting out this moral dilemma for me. Take out John Terry and play with Carvalho, please.
There we go.
Because obviously I know he was a great centre back and he was a captain and stuff. But you know what? Yeah. What isn't great captaincy and leadership performances is getting a red card, getting yourself sent off in the semi-final before the final against Bayern Munich. And that final. So Drogba and Lampard and the rest of the old timers had to step up. And that's who won us the Champions League. Not you, John Terry. So get out of my team.
And also being a good captain also means not being racist as well.
exactly.
That goes a long, long way. I just don't know how the rest of the players played with him, and I think all of them left, didn't they? Like pretty much, like
Contract.
Malouda.
That's how they played, yeah.
Yeah,
Contracts.
quite a few of them left at the end of that season. So I can imagine, yeah, that it would have been very hard. Yeah, that's one of the better teams that have come on the show. To be fair, I need to screenshot this one. That's one of the better teams. One of the better teams. But thank you so much, so much, so much. Hopefully, next time we speak, you have some sort of optic fiber Wi-Fi with no interruption.
We're working on it. We're working on it. But in the meantime, I'm actually going to get like the cable and just kind of plug it directly in because
so it's actually the Wi-Fi issue, not the actual internet.
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah,
one.
just jump on Amazon and just get an extra long one and just plug it straight in.
Yeah.
It'll stop all your troubles. But if you want to be found, where can we find you? Like I've put it up there, but do you really want to be found? That's the next question.
I really want. I've been found by quite a few people unfortunately already. So I mean, it's out there, guys. On socials, I'm not really much of a social media like head or person. Like, I'm always doing stuff as well. And honestly, I can't stand it because after a while, it gets like really exhausted, like really, really exhausting, and I just feel like I need a break sometimes. But the only socials I have and use is Instagram, so you can find me on Instagram there. Handle. I'm also on GNA TV. I host the Chelsea Lady Show on that. We do that on Fridays. I do show bits and bobs here and there. I guess we usually are quite consistent. I know we've missed like a show this week, but it's because both had a lot to do, but we will be back, and it just means we just have more stuff to talk about, more stuff to cover, which we will. I'm also on the Midnight Vibe show on the Football Terrace as well. Where else? You can find me on Monster CFC streams where like do live shows with him. I'm on Charlotte's show. We do
literally everywhere.
And I'm the founder and creator of my own organization foundation called the Progressions Project. So you can find us on Instagram as well. Websites. So if you want to see a small summary about what we are, what we do and stuff, and information for when the website will be released, launch will be on there too as well. So you can check that out if you want to.
No problem. Thank you so much for coming on, and I hope you go get some sleep now because
I'm just gonna watch the game. I'm just gonna chill in my bed.
Oh, there's like two more. I'm gonna pretend like we're not playing today. So
can't, especially on Twitter. You can't.
No, I'm gonna pretend like we're not playing today. I've just seen Aston Villa got a goal back as well, so that I'm gonna go watching that.
Well, and then just
switch off straight after dinner time, and then that's it. That's me for the day. But thank you so much, Lambs, and hope you have a good evening. Everybody, thank you for sending in the questions. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow Lambs on all of her social media as well. And yeah, just remember to social distance and just be nice. It's free to be nice. Yeah, be nice. Be safe. Don't be racist. It is that simple. Ghana, Arsenal are going to batter Man City. Yeah, whatever you say, Prime, man. If that's what you feel.
Always stirring. He's always stirring. He's always like,
you know what it is?
He's just
insecure.
21's
he's
coming.
Insecure about Chelsea, innit? So I think that's why he trolls so much.
We all are. We were rattled yesterday, so now we're just rattling everybody else. Just put them off their game. Like, oh, you're not the only ones. We're not going to be the only ones dropping points, eh? Looks like we're hammering, eh?
He's literally the king of rattling people, innit? Especially Man United fans. I love it. I love it. But yeah, thank you so much, and everybody, please just be nice, don't be racist, and have a good evening, and enjoy your Sunday dinners because I'm sure I will be. See you later.